It's amazing how this works. I love it that you're here and that you decided to listen and to be part of this and to join in what we do today here in the collected essays of Joel Goldsmith. And today there's a very interesting one to me. It's a great chapter, pamphlet, because it's the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I don't know how that is for you, but to me it is a very heart-opening prayer, in fact, or psalm. It's a psalm. It's a prayer. It's a song. You could easily sing it like we listened to one of the songs. It's like the Lord is my shepherd. They're really beautiful. It's incredible. So we meditated on it too just a moment ago. We have been repeating this for some couple of times, and by feeling the Lord is my shepherd, feeling, say, the possibility of that comfort that is for you, it is like it's here for you. And that is so lovely about the 23rd Psalm. At least for me, when I read it, like on Saturday morning, it was like, well, I carried that the whole day with me. Like it completely struck me, like between my eyes, so to speak. It really struck me. Like it was so beautiful how that opened everything up. So one thing to say is then, the 21st Psalm is literally like a portal. In that sense, I said this in the meditation too. It's like a portal. It's like it opens up all dimensions of existence. Like it opens up all dimensions, and it's really like here you can disappear into the love for your Father. Here is one thing to, like, who is David? This is you praying to God. There's an offering for you to directly come into communication. Like, it's so sweetly written. It's so beautifully, composed. It's poetry. It's like it is the language of your heart that is speaking to you, inviting you very gently and very precious, in a very precious way, to open your heart and feel the love of God. That's all. That is all, literally. That is all. So Joel writes in this pamphlet about the secret of the 23rd Psalm. He writes about the secret of it. And that can make you curious, sure, and I hope it will make you curious. And if you read the pamphlet, you see that Joel uses a couple of other psalms too. So it's not just 23 that he uses. But today we are focusing just on the part of the 23rd Psalm. And we do this for a very specific reason, to like at least structure this a little bit, because the tendency to want to do everything is there. Like, I want to give you everything about what I read here, but at the same time it's like, well, you might as well just do 23, because it's like whichever part I take of the whole, it still holds all totality. So, because it is the experience of you in relationship with your Father. That is still the same totality. That is, nothing can be taken away from that. Even if I would use words like my shepherd, or he restoreth my soul, or green pastures, or he leadeth me to still waters, all these fragments, the parts that appear to be parts as an allegory, like as a translation of the feeling that David has here in his poem for the love for his Father, for his Creator. So that's what I mean. We can stay with 23 if that touches you, say, opens you up for an experience of what you are, the is in you, the I in you. If that helps you to open, say, have that been revealed to you, it is complete. So, in order to in order to discover all the comforting aspects in this, all the confirming aspects, that literally no separation has occurred, that you will not have any kind of lack, that like it's complete abundance. My cup runneth over. Everything is given you, and not in the future. No, everything is given you, like in this moment. It brings it all back to right here and right now. Everything is given to you in this moment. So there are more. I will dwell in the house of the Lord. This is happening right now. You are dwelling in the house of the Lord. So the part of your mind that doesn't get that, so to speak, and that is in a transformative process, it will succeed in terms that process will succeed in that you return back into the awareness of the totality of the love of God. Like that's inevitable because there is nothing else. So great healing aspects here too. Great healing vision, in fact, is given you here in this 23rd Psalm. And we use it for that. In this class, we use it for that. It's a healing miracle prayer, really is. It's like, yes, no, I dwell in the house of the Lord. I will be there forever. That is my reality of who I am. This is happening right now. And nothing else has happened. So you see, like all the aspects are coming to this, to us in this. And so we'll take a look at some aspects of it. But see, I don't want to get into the almost like a direct translation or something from the 23rd Psalm. No, it's about the experience of totality that is being offered here, and that you can easily like see too. So it's very clear. The Lord is my shepherd. So he is watching me, not as we think he does, but watching me as part of him, as an inseparable part of him. That's how he's watching me. The Lord is my shepherd. He has an eye on me. God has an eye on you. He keeps you, he knows what you're doing. He knows what you're doing in the totality of who you are. Not in the, say, attempt to become separate from him in your little detour into fear, into mesmerism, into having goals in a place that does not exist. No, this is different. So coming back, remembering, oh yes, I'm a whole part of God himself. I'm a whole part of that. He's my shepherd. Yes, I'm absolutely part of the flock. I'm absolutely part of the flock. I'm like the waves in the ocean. The other day I gave that one. It's like you're one of the waves in the ocean. So you're totally a part of the ocean. You're inseparable. And you have your own, say, individual, subjective experience of this. And that is what is chosen for you. Like, that's perfectly all right too. So let me see what we have here. Oh yeah, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's where it starts with. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And what does that mean? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want is really like, what else can I possibly ask for? But that goes a bit further, because you asked for something that is impossible, like the world that you see with lack, limitation, sickness and death. That is an impossible request that you did. And you live in the fantasy of that, if you see that as your life and identify with it as your life, So I shall not want is then really like returning back to the moments that you meditate, or returning back to the moment that you let everything go for a moment. You see that it's complete, it's whole. You can come into an experience of yes, I'm in communication with my Father. Yes, I feel the love and light. And for a moment I stay with that stillness. I stay right in that stillness. So what can I possibly want? What, if everything is given me, what can I possibly want? So that's a beautiful opening. See, it's also like a diamond. It's multifaceted. So when here Joel says too, the other part is then, I shall not want. I don't have to ask God in prayer for anything. I don't have to ask him for anything. No, prayer really becomes then the moment of communication, the experience of direct contact. That is what prayer is. I don't have to use words or to ask for things in that, because he has given me everything. So what can I possibly want? That what I think I lack in my dream of separation, well, that will never satisfy. You will always experience lack in that. Like that will not change because of the nature of that digression, so to speak, or that mistake. So that that is what Joel shares here with us in these first sentences of the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's a good line to take with you during the day too. It's like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. See, it is not that you cannot ask for anything. It's not that you're not allowed to do that. No, you're free to do that. It is just that it's not going to give you what you really want. That's why you don't have to do it. Like if God is giving you everything, what you ask for is redundant, like it's really not necessary. And what you ask for on a superficial level will in fact hurt you. You don't need that. So it's like it's something that you think that you need or think that you want, but deep down under there it's not what you want, because in your moment of totality, of prayer, of communication with your Creator, there is nothing that you want. You don't know what to do with yourself, because your cup literally runneth over. In the beginning of this chapter, Joel talks of this pamphlet, and Joel talks about, I think, Psalm 91 or so. This is all about prayer, coming to the place where you actually don't ask for anything, but prayer is really seeing as the moment of communication, like I said before. Like that is really, Joel calls it literally the miracle of prayer, is literally coming directly into a light experience, into the love experience for your love for your Father, and that communicates directly, instantaneously, as an communication, as something that is there for you, that resonates with this, your inner being. So and then we come to the part where we say like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death. Like this is what you do as a human being. You walk through the valleys of death. Like turn on your television and you're being literally bombarded with it. So this is like, yes, you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. This is that, like the world you live in is that world. That is, but you don't have to fear evil at the same time, because in fact you're not there at all, because you dwell in the house of the Lord. It's like, okay, yeah, this is my world as I can see it. Like I see, it has the appearance of a world full of terror, disease, disaster, and death. But at the same time, I know there's nothing to fear for me. Like I don't have to fear evil. I don't have to do all that, because I dwell in the house of the Lord. Like I literally, that's where I'm present. That's where I really abide. I'm not of this world. So that world cannot dictate anything to me. If I discover that I'm the cause of this world by giving it value, here's the turnaround for that. It's like, if I don't value it anymore and see that I actually never was here, that I actually have left this place, then I know that I'm dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. Because this place does not exist. Like, yeah, you can call it a place of shadow of death, the valley of shadow of death. Like it has all the appearances of it. You see people cry. You see people losing the ones they love. You see all these disasters and things that seem so incredibly painful. You see them happen. But it's an appearance. It is what you see with your eyes, and you believe it is there for a moment, until you see, like, no, I actually am not there. I'm not there. This place does not exist. I'm not of this world. No, here I am, dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. It's like I celebrate this every day, in my meditation, in my prayer. This is where that happens. I allow my world to collapse into where it came from, into nothingness. And it collapses every time. I literally die in it and see that that I don't die at all, but that I actually awaken in truth, that I come into a direct experience of the light that I am, the love that I am. I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. See, this goes on. See how beautifully that is, like, connected to one another. It's literally one thing. Like, there's not something that's not right in this psalm. No, it's a total psalm. It's absolutely an expression of pure love from you to your Creator. Oh yeah, so in the middle of 103, I'll read this to you. This is what Joel shares with us, there can be no spiritual progress until you have overcome the world. As long as you are using truth merely to increase your human good, increase your weekly income, remodel your home, acquire a better automobile, you have not even touched the spiritual path. So this is what I meant with seeing the world for what it is, discovering, like, oh no, I'm not invested in that. I don't want to do that any longer. I dwell in the house of the Lord. With these appearances, like, I have no worldly goals, really, if I allow my spiritual process to take part, And so Joel says there can be no spiritual progress until you allow that to occur, until you allow your world to collapse, to literally let it fall apart, or figuratively let it fall apart. It's like this is really what is given you to see that I am in this transformational process, from the change from natural man to the recognition that I never was natural man but spiritual man. So I'm literally in a birth process, in a rebirth process to that. I want to awaken from this dream, from this say insane nightmare that I think that I'm in a separate world with separate bodies, separate entities, separate automobiles, separate houses, separate who knows what. I cannot stand that any longer. Like, I have no need for that anymore. Because I know it starts to dawn on me more and more and more that there's no reality in this place whatsoever. So this is what Joel shares with us directly. Tonight I'll repeat the first sentence. There can be no spiritual progress until you have overcome the world. See, this is why we say with the meditation too, is like, leave your nets behind. Just leave your occupations and preoccupations behind. Leave all your concerns behind too, because they're dealing with a place that actually does not exist. And you can have all kinds of defenses that you think like, well, yeah, but this has some reality, doesn't it? I have to deal with it, or I have to do this or that. Like, well, in the process of transformation, you will be told exactly what to do. So it's like, if this world isn't real, why are you pretending it is? And that is a process. It is a process to discover that that's actually true. That in the middle of, say, even though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, of this world, literally, I have to fear no evil, because this place is not real. So we're all in this process of letting go of our attachment to a place and an idea that never can make us happy, that never gives us anything, because it is literally separated from God. It has no communication. It has no divine love, as we said the other day. It's like you cannot look for it here, divine love. It is not there. So you come to the moment that you make the decision not to look for it there anymore, and then you say like, okay, I'm on this spiritual path, and you are, when you decide to do that. Like, no, I'm not looking for it in the place that I got used to, but actually I'm focusing more on my inner life. I want to find this kingdom within me and have that restored into my awareness. So, and then in 104, there's a very nice subject too. So, thou preparest a place before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. So you can say like whatever David is describing here is very much like an esoteric, say, expression of what is happening with you. Like your head is being anointed. Literally your crown is going to open up for the communication that can take place. Like you have physical changes going on, and which are not really physical at all, but you can experience it that way, in which you feel that your crown chakra, if you want, opens up for you to receive that light that is given you. And I'm not saying like it goes through your head or something like that. No, it's so nicely described here. It's like he anointeth my head. And so he's giving me everything. God is giving me everything. And the restoration of my being as a communication device is obvious in the transformational process. So when everything that doesn't belong there is like coming up and is being healed, is changing, you go through a lot of episodes when you are in this transformational process. Episodes of physical illnesses or symptoms or who knows what. And for now you use that to go through it and allow it to change. Not holding on to it or not trying to fight it or anything. So no, This is a healing process in which you decided to do this. So what happens here then, and Joel describes it in the book too, I'll read it in a moment. It's like what actually is happening is an increase of your certainty that truth is true. More and more it's being restored into your awareness that it is like that. So, and that is incredible. That's an incredible process in which we support one another. And but it's an individual experience. You feel and you demonstrate more certainty in that what you experience, in that what is given you. And like if you have a really beautiful, deep experience of your love for God, that is an incredible realignment, an incredible healing taking place in you, of having that certainty in your awareness that there is a God and it's actually working. Like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And what Joel shares with us is actually true. You can experience this as a direct experience of the communication with your Father. You can experience that. It's your birthright, but you can hear it 100 times and read it 1,000 times. But when you're actually experiencing it, it is like, wow, that really took you by surprise. You actually had no idea that it was like that. So this is what we're heading up to. So important thing then is what Jesus always says too. You read that in the New Testament. I'm not of this world. Like, no, I'm not of this world. No, I have nothing to do with this place. Like, no, that is not what is happening. I've overcome the world. So here's your invitation to overcome the world. It's not as hard as you think or as you might believe it would be. Not at all. So then really it is like, what do you have to lose? And because what is really yours is always with you, because you dwell in the house of the Lord. It cannot be taken away from you, because He leadeth me. He watches me. He watches over me. I cannot lose it. There is nothing that wants to take it away. So in the deep comfort that is then in every aspect of the 23rd Psalm is then a comfort that can increase your sense of certainty about what is going on with you. And it should, and it's okay. It's great if it happens. Okay, so I promised to read some of 104. Here again, Joel says, is simply the statement of what is, of that which is. Thou preparest a table. No affirmation make it come true, no petition, no seeking God, merely a statement. This is high prayer. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. And then, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. How confident he is here. It's like, surely goodness and mercy will come to me all the days of my life. There's no exception. Like, even though you put your bed in hell, so to speak, there's no day that this is absent, like the love of God is somewhere else and not for you. No, all days of my life, forever, all days of my life. But like Joel says, like David says this with full confidence, all the days of my life, because he feels the love for his Father. He feels that love and he knows what he's talking about. So this is all confidence, this is all certainty being given to you. Like that is the 23rd Psalm. It's like a big anchor into truth. It's a big anchor that you can keep with you, and whenever you need it, you bring it back. It's like, oh, where's my anchor? Well, here it is. This is my healing miracle prayer, and it's all about comforting. Yes, all days of my life, in the middle of what appears to be hell and separation, or war and disease, or disaster and turmoil. All that kind of appearances is not there. Like my Lord is with me all days of my life. Despite all my appearances, all that I think I see and try to see in a different way. But I see all these appearances, and they confuse me for a moment. Now I come to this prayer to let this be restored in my awareness, that the truth about me will never change. It's always with me. So in 105, so this is the conclusion. Okay, so I'll start a little bit above that. And 105. Is there a possibility, Joel says, that God will stop your blessings as long as you have a need? Is it possible that the hand of God is shortened or will be withdrawn from you before the fulfillment of your destiny? Why should you ever have to question? Why should you ever have to treat? Meditate on the spirit of the 23rd Psalm, a psalm that in no wise, no place reaches out to God, seeks anything from God, but rather rests so completely, so perfectly in the confidence and assurance, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And then comes the conclusion, Joel says, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I will dwell in God consciousness forever. There's no treatment about it, just a statement, and I will dwell in God consciousness, in the house of the Lord forever. Have you made, this might be maybe a cue for you, well, it surely is, have you made the declaration, I will dwell in the house of the Lord, in God consciousness forever? Like, you make that declaration for yourself. So you can do that. Why don't you say it right now? So put on my glasses here one more time. I will dwell in the house of the Lord, in God consciousness forever. Like, I need to make that statement for myself. I need to declare myself so that it comes in my awareness, that I know that is my truth. And by considering this idea, I dwell in, by considering that, by maybe starting to slowly but certainly accepting that, and actually coming into direct experience of it, and be revealed to you what this actually means, then this is literally the 3-step awakening process that is taking place in you. You start to consider this idea. I dwell in the house of the Lord, right? Like, God is with me, I'm safe, it is happening in my consciousness, the kingdom is within me. And I consider that idea first. I consider that idea. Then I start to actually discover, I'm starting to not only consider this, but actually something tells me that it is the truth about me. So you come into the acceptance of it. So, and then in the next phase, you have accepted this idea, but you want to come into the direct experience of it. Like, you want to feel the love for your Father, and you want to feel the love of the Father for you. So this is really, in all simplicity, the bottom line or the bottom principles of any spiritual path, but certainly too from the infinite way. Like you come to the acceptance of this, the acceptance of the secret of the 23rd Psalm. I literally, it's going to be revealed to you. So, like I said, in 3 steps, this is happening. And you might, wherever you find yourself, you don't have to analyze it or whatever. No, you start, excuse me, you start, you start using this. And you start considering it. And something happens when you do that. Like something is being speeded up in you when you start to accept this. And in your acceptance, it becomes such a beautiful place where you literally, like, suddenly there's space for you to have this direct experience. So you're so close to it. Like this is given to you. And you're just one thought away from it, really like that. Like, and then at the same time, realizing that you can never lose this. This is the truth about you. You cannot change the truth about you. So you don't have to. You try to, and you failed. Because now this is coming to you again. It's like, yeah, sorry, here's truth again, knocking on your shoulder. You dwell in the house of the Lord, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to be like celebrate, rejoicing in the house of the Lord forever. And that is happening right now. So you might as well join that party, so to speak. You might as well join that party and allow that to be your reality, instead of the pitiful and small, contracted, dead appearance of what keeps you busy for a moment as a human being. So the Lord is my shepherd. I dwell in the house of the Lord. All of my days I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. He is with me all of my days. And nothing can change that or take that away from me. They're so great. So thank you for joining me in this 23rd Psalm, and let the secret be revealed to you. Let the secret be revealed to you. What this actually entails. Thank you so much for joining me in this. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.